इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में ये अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है, वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी, ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा, ये हमारी आपकी हम सबकी अंतर प्रेरणा। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन ही नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा दे देगा। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
Very good afternoon to all the dear friends. Franchise India team welcome all of you to our digital show, Business Opportunity with Chai. This is a digital representation of the business opportunity which we have got for you. It is a 45-minute session where first we'll start the correct and the complete understanding about the brand offering through our presentation. Then we'll move towards a panel discussion. Hence, we request all of you to share your queries, your question and answers in Q&A box. We'll take all your queries during our panel discussion. Franchise India, our aim is to provide maximum business solutions, franchise opportunity to all the potential business buyers so that they get a correct understanding about the model, take a conscious decision of selecting the right franchise for themselves. With this introduction, we welcome management team of Franchise India, Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am. Along with them, I also invite and welcome Arnav, who is a very senior resource, as well as Prashant Bhandari, who is a Chief Operating Officer at FIBL. The brand which we are representing today is Yathung. It's India's leading manpower and security service franchise opportunity, which we have got from you for you. And we have invited founder, Mr. Limbu, to talk about and to share his viewpoint, his business idea with all of us. Thank you so much, Mr. Limbu, for joining in today. But before we formally start a presentation on your great initiative on your brand through Anshul's side, we would like to invite you to talk about your journey.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Captain Bakarbi Limbu, Managing Director of Yakthung Manpower and Security Services. This unit was promoted by me. I'm a retired Army officer. For the last 35 years, we have been working on the brand promotion of this unit. And right now we have reached to the stage where we should come to the public in the form of franchise distribution, for which our Franchise India is working for this, and we are really grateful. Now, first of all, I would like to thank you all to join this webinar. And I'm really grateful and thankful to you that you have spared your valuable time to attend to this webinar. This unit, which is purely a service sector unit, in fact, what our country is presently heading is for manufacturing hub, in which service unit, the service sector, is one of the most important. And in our country today, we having one of the world's, the most efficient and powerful youth, that is all youth below 35 years, 65% of our population, which is going to be a power as the human resource is concerned. Not only in India as a manufacturing hub, we need this power, but only for, for other countries also, like in the world, will be able to supply these services to the whole world. Now, in this, this is one, the sector which will never come down, which will never have any setback, or which will never have any recession in the days to come. Any unit today, any manufacturing unit, where there is so many hurdles and so many pitfalls, whereas this is one sector, which has the minimum, I would say almost nil risk anybody ventures into. And the investment also is minimum. It's a very, very minimum investment in which anybody can start this. So with this concept, we have collaborated ourselves with Franchises India to promote this, our business, which we have tested and time tested for the last 35 years. And we are very, very confident now to come on to the public to promote this sector. Now, as the sector is concerned, as I told you, is one of the most risk-free and minimum investment. Anybody, any technocrat or any qualified skilled person, who wants risk-free enterprise, who want to start off as a starter, one of the most lucrative and the most promising, never failing. Whatever investment you have, you make, from the day when you start operation, it goes into your credit. Every penny, every hour, every minute that we start providing services, is added to your credit, and never you have to wait for it. Never you have to have any risk that whatever investment you have started from the day one, that you have any doubt that it may go into negative, or it may have any pitfall. Because services, it is human resource services, where you put in your services, another company, the service takers, by all means will have to pay you for that. Yes, at the end of month, by first week of every month, they pay you off. As such, whatever investment during the last 30 days you have made, 30 or 31 days, is credited to you, and you are paid back by the service provider, service taker. As such, I do not see any risk. Immediately you are watching, you are getting your return after 30 days, after the month is over. And it continues for years. Your service is satisfactory. Naturally, the service taker will never would like to change you because of so many factors that changing will involve for him also, the finding another service provider, and the risk of whether what will be the standard of performance of the new service provider, whereas you've been working with it, with the service taker, he knows you and he will not take risk of change. We have been working with service takers, continuously for 10 years, 15 years, even 20 years, 25 years in Sikkim, and never felt like changing. Yes, in the public sector, government enterprises, there has been a sort of a built-in rule for them. Then after 3 years or after 3 tenders, the service provider will have to change. It does change time to time, but let us say once contract you have entered into it, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, it continues. As such, it is a quite, hassle-free once you get into it, and very, very easy. As business prospects are concerned, I would invite one of our team member, Mr. Ansu, to take on to you, because he's a young guy and very energetic. He's much more proficient in the figures and all, facts and figures. So I will hand over to you to this session now to Mr. Ansul, who will explain to you business prospects of Yakthung franchise India. Over to Ansul. I hope Ansul is online.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Thank you very much, sir. I will take our friends and investors to a small presentation now. Yes. I hope the screen is visible to everyone.
Yes.
Yes, Anshul, yes.
Great. So I would like to thank you, Mr. Limu, for a good start to the session. Thank you for sharing the brand story and how this company is set up. So friends, today we have a very important company and a very exciting category also. This is called Yakthung. This is a manpower and security services franchise opportunity. And through this presentation, we'll take you through first a section on what the company is all about, our services mix, highlights, USPs, and then we do a small section on India opportunity, where we look at security services and also recruitment and manpower services. What is the opportunity in these two categories today? And then third section, very important also, franchise proposal, which means how you can partner now, Mr. Limbu, and what is the support functions, what is the financial model, and some of the key cities the company is considering in phase one to get into. Right. So on that note, friends, I will start with section one, that is Yakthung company's overview. So, company is an established player with vast experience of 25 years. Mr. Limbu started this company in 1995, and over these 25 years has continuously grown in terms of the business, and started with security services, and over the years has added many other services like recruitment and temporary staffing. And today we also offer skills development, nursing and caretaker services, which is becoming an important segment for home healthcare and healthcare industry, and also overseas education advisory services. So where students wants to go international for some of their studies, so companies there to advise them, guide them, and help them get into the right colleges, right courses. Of course, promoted by an ex-army officer, Mr. Limbu himself. So you can be rest assured in terms of the processes, in terms of the overall setup and the discipline that he brings in. Very important, his experience from army is reflected in every aspect of the business that sir has set up. Another important aspect, I think this is very, very important for this business, is that Yakthung is situated at Siliguri, West Bengal. My apologies for spelling error there. It's situated at Siliguri, West Bengal, and is well connected. Why that location is important is that from this location we are able to source candidates from the eastern part of, or say Eastern Asia, which brings in Mongolian featured, fair-colored, hospitable, cultured, and English-speaking candidates. So this helps in terms of sourcing a vast pool of candidates which can be placed across industries through our services, right? So in this presentation, friends, will also talk about some of our services. Security service, which is one of the most important component of the offering. Security means, so there are two ways of doing the security. One is, of course, the manned guarding service. And then second, we also do focus on, cash services, which means cash in transit, or, ATM replenishments, or cash pickup and delivery service. Right. We'll talk about that when we get to the industry section. But today, security service, key end user segments, banking and finance, education institutions, entertainment parks, hospitals, hotels, industrial, shopping malls, VIP security. This is becoming a very, very important segment. Executive protection, so airports. And of late, we've also started doing, investigation, surveillance, and private detective services also. So a very, very important segment, security services. And some of the pictures, as you can see, the first picture is taken from Sikkim University, where our staff is deployed at the main entrance. Then some of the other pictures taken from other services also. Similarly, our second important service, placement services, which is a full-time employee. And here, we act as a coordinator, a link between a job seeker and the employer. As I mentioned, sourcing candidates from Northeast India region, Nepal, Bhutan, and other key markets in Eastern Asia region, and placing them, advising them, guiding them, training them also, and then placing them across the industry in the country. Right. So company enjoys a very healthy relationship with corporates across Northeast India region, and then we're able to make this placements, very well. Similarly, recruitment and temporary staffing solutions also. So this is where companies, they want to take staff on temporary basis, on contractual basis. Typically, these contracts would run into a value of crores, uh, sourced through tender processes. So that's why, that's how, again, a company enjoys a healthy relationship, a very strong network in the corporate, to be able to offer this service also. Right. A very important aspect here that we carry out, we do training of our manpower, sourcing, training, getting them ready for the jobs, and then placing them in the right sort of places where they can be very efficient and can drive results. Our other three services, skills development and training, with focus on housekeeping services, so ideally catering to hospitality industry. Similarly, nursing services and caretaker service, catering to a fast-growing healthcare industry, and also very important home healthcare services today. So this is aimed at that. And then third part, study abroad consultancy, aimed at students opting for overseas education program. So how we're executing this, what would be your role in these six services? This we will talk about when we get to the franchise proposal section. Right. So as of, okay, main are key end user segments: hotels and hospitality, sales and marketing, shopping centers, supermarkets, and all these segments are very, very important, where we are able to place our candidates. On the industry side, you can also see shipping and cruise ship, and construction and engineering, security, safety, protection. So these are some of the segments. Aviation is very important for us, where ground staff is deployed by our company. Right. Very important again, our infrastructure at Siliguri enables us to focus on learning, training, and development. the hostel facilities are of international standard and can easily accommodate 200 trainees per batch. So prior to deployment, uh, every candidate is ensured to go through the training and then be absolutely ready before he's placed in a job. Right? Established thought leadership with experienced teams. We have well qualified instructors and trainers with us who've been on the payroll of the company and have been working with us for many years. There is a long association with each of them. This team includes recruiters, administrators, counselors, and many other senior professionals from the industry who bring in their experience and expertise in terms of training our candidates and getting them ready for the industry. Right. So, friends, you see, the company has uh, 25 years of vast experience. There is infrastructure available. There is training team and experienced management team that is there with us. And most importantly, I think the location advantage also, which enables company to source a vast pool of candidates from across Northeast and Eastern region, plus some of the key markets in Eastern Asian markets like Bhutan, Nepal, and these places, which ensures the candidates are always available. Right. Some of our strengths: infrastructure and setup, as I said, then geographic advantage, and a growing pool of end user segments. So it is not that we're just getting to one segment. So there are 6 services, and each of the service, connects you with 10 different industries. So we're not limited by say just the hotel industry. We're doing 10 different industries. Security can be offered to as many locations as you want to do. Retail, hospitality, hotels, education, banking and financial services. So everywhere there is a requirement of our service, right? So that's the advantage company offers to you. Our credentials. So we've been the recipient of top industry awards in the category. These are only few of them that we've received over past 3 to 5 years period. And every year we continue to add more and more awards and certificates to our gallery. Right. So overall, friends, a very well-established company with a vast experience of 25 years, enjoys a healthy relationship with corporates across Northeast Indian region, and strong student pool, candidate pool that we have built is also available with us. So that brings us to our second section, which is India opportunity. In this section, we'll talk about what is the market for the security services and then similarly for the recruitment services. Right. First, the security services. So just to set up the industry, how security service is offered today. So we typically see with 3 segment of services. Most importantly is the man guarding, where you see the security guards being deployed. And in this also you see BFSI, which is banking and financial services. So very common example is typically the ATM person, right? You all must have seen. Similarly, ITES, manufacturing, retail, commercial. Uh, Under security, the second service is cash service, and we'll talk about it, how that is being done today. And third, very important, electronic security services. So from a company's point of view, the focus is on man guarding and cash services, right? Overall market for man guarding today is about 1500 billion. So friends, I'll tell you 1 billion is 100 crore. So this is 1500 billion market is what we're looking at here. Similarly, the cash service market is also about 100 billion, or you can say a 10,000 crore sort of a market, a huge market, and also growing, at a very brisk pace, right? Uh, the point to note here is that the industry is highly fragmented, and it's getting more organized today. So from unorganized to organized to specialized. So that's the transition we're witnessing in this industry now. With corporates seeking specialized security services also, right? In terms of the end user segments and their percentage contribution, again, this is important, because as a franchisee partner, you should know, what are your end users, where all you can pitch this service. So manufacturing and industrial, very important, 27%. Then BFSI is very, very important segment for security services. BFSI is banking and financial services. ITES with large offices and large staff strength also. They do need a very strong security services pool or manpower under security services, right? So that's why you see 12%. Another important segment is residential housing. So all residential projects, you would see a large number of security guards being deployed. Uh, so that also contributes about 14% in this category. So these are some of the segments which, as a franchisee partner, you would be required to reach out to and get on board with these companies. As I said earlier, Yakthung as a corporate, as a company, as a service provider, we already enjoy a very healthy relationship. If you talk about residential housing, all large real estate developers across Northeast India region, they know Yakthung already. And so that also brings an advantage to you in terms of the corporate connect. While you walk into any real estate developer's office, you would already have some precedence in terms of Yakthung known as a quality, credible service provider. So that makes your job a lot easier than doing it all alone, right? Similarly, in other categories also, uh, companies very well known for its services, right? Coming to cash services. So this is, as I said earlier, this is ideally three services here. ATM replenishments. I'm sure you guys must have seen the cash vans going around the city and refilling the ATMs. So very, very important and very critical service that is. Cash in transit. So this is another service today. It's becoming very important, especially these retail stores, clinics. They want to transfer their cash every day from their clinic to say a bank. Then cash pickup and delivery also. This is a growing service where for example, real estate developer or a broker, who would do cash transactions every day. So he would need this cash pickup and delivery to be done to the bank. Right. So these are some of the services which is growing, and again, there is a vast pool of end user segment that you can look at. It is not just banking and financial services. Any organized setup today in the market, you can imagine can be a customer to you, especially for a CIT or a CPD service. It is not linked to ATM or a bank. This can be any retail operation which is doing a significant amount of cash transactions. It can be a restaurant, it can be a hotel, where you see a lot of cash transactions being done. A real estate broker. So the end user segment is vast in this category also. It is not limited to just banking and ATMs. So on that note, friends, I would like to say, there is a vast pool of services that company offers. security, which can be manned and cash services both. Then recruitment, which can be both full-time employees, where you make 8.33% on each appointment, or it can be a temporary staffing. Then we have three other services: skills development, there is nursing and caretaker, there is overseas education, and each of these services has a large and a growing pool of end user segments which you can cater to. So from an opportunity point of view, there is no limit in terms of who you can reach out to, right? Uh, and that's how we should look at this opportunity here. There is no limit to your end users in this business. So then we come to our second set, which is placement services. Overall, the market is 60,000 crore today, split into permanent and temporary. So temporary staffing is a contractual staffing, where typically you have the person on your payroll, say at a value of X, and then X plus margins, this person is placed with the company. Right. So for example, if I just take an example, you have this resource on your payroll for 20,000 rupee monthly, and then this is placed with the client at say 30,000 rupee monthly, right? So that's the 10,000 rupee margin is what you make in this transaction. That is per employee per month, right? And this is a huge segment. Temporary staffing, as you can see, this is 73% of a 60,000 crore market today. So almost a 40,000 crore itself, this segment is. And contractual staffing, you can see industrial, manufacturing, and many other places today. This goes. Real estate and construction is a huge segment where this temporary staffing goes. Then permanent is 13%, and other services, which is also payroll administration, recruitment, RPO, HR management, employee training, online job portal. So that all forms the remaining 13-14% of the market. Okay, so coming to our third section, which is franchise proposal. Now, keen to expand by franchise route, and looking at franchise-owned, franchise-operated, direct single unit franchisee association, where the franchisee partner is expected to play a front-end role, which means as a franchisee partner, your role would be to reach out to corporate and offer the services. Now, from these six set of services, how we want to execute this is the security service, placement service, and recruitment service. So this is directly offered by you to the customer, right? While the other three services, skills development, nursing, and overseas education, this is done centralized by the company, while you would have a role to do enrollments for these services, right? These three services, I'll again say, these three services are managed by the company directly, while as a franchisee partner, you can leverage on enrollments. So you bring in enrollment. So somebody wants to take up a course in Germany. So under our overseas education advisory service, that person can be referred to head office in Siliguri, and then Siliguri team will take care of the entire process. Similarly, somebody wants to take up a course in nursing and caretaker service. He can be brought to Siliguri, or she can be brought to Siliguri. The teams will take care of the training part. So your role would be to ensure enrollments, and you get a share in that model also. I hope this is clear. So security service, you would directly offer. Placement services, which means the temporary staffing. This you would have people on your payroll, which are then placed with the companies at certain margin. And then recruitment service, which is a full-time employee recruitment. You make 8.33% on each placement, and then you pay a royalty on that, right? While the other three services, it is only enrollments is what you bring in, and you get a share on that total revenue, right? I hope this is clear. Coming to our next slide, so project investment. So as a franchisee partner, you invest with us a brand sign up fee for 10 lakh rupees. This fee, this is the only investment you need to make in this business. And this is a fee which gives you exclusive rights for a city. So for example, if you're from Ranchi or Jamshedpur or or Cuttack, this 10 lakh rupee franchise fee gives you exclusive rights for a city like Cuttack or a Bhubaneswar or a Raipur, and then the entire market is assigned exclusive to you to offer all the services within that city, right? I can see 5 participants have raised hands. So let's take a minute and understand. So Archana, how do we address these?
That probably we'll do after the
After the
presentation.
session? Okay,
Yeah.
no worries.
So we request all those who are raising their hands, if you can just write your query in question and answer box.
Yes, that'll be helpful. So we can address all the queries at the end of the presentation. So please share your queries through Q&A, and we'll be able to address that very well after the presentation, please. Okay. Moving on the presentation then. So in terms of how do we look at your revenues? So 3 services here. Security service, average order value of 50 lakhs. So typically security and the contractual manpower service, this happens through tender, which means the companies would float a tender for X number of positions. And typically these tenders vary between 50 lakh rupees to say a 2 crore value, seeking 50 security guards or 50 contractual employees. So what we've done is we've looked at for security services 50 lakh rupee value, average order value, and you're doing 10 orders per year, which means a 5 crore business is what you're able to generate. Payout to outsourced manpower vendor 65%, and 5% is royalty to the company. So your gross margin is 1.5 crores. So on a revenue of 5 crore, your gross margin becomes 1.5 crore. That's 30%, right? Similarly, for contractual services, again, this is tender based, and an average order value could be between 50 lakhs to say a 2 crore. You do 8 to 10 orders a year, and similarly 30% gross margins, which means 1.2 to 1.5 crore gross margin would be available. Placement services, FTE is full-time employee. So we have taken an average placement of 4 lakh rupees, or say 35,000 monthly. This we have taken on the lower side because typically the sort of candidates we are able to do, and the sort of openings we're able to service in the market, they vary between 25,000 to 50,000 rupee average salaries per month, right? But it's a huge volume business, and we can look at placing 50 such candidates in the market. You make 8.33% on that. So 50 candidates into 4 lakhs is 2 crores, 8.33% on that, and then you pay a 5% royalty. So net about 16 lakh rupees gross margin can be generated from this business also. So which means roughly 2.85 crores or a 24 lakh rupee monthly is the gross margin. Taking out all the expenses towards your rental, staff, office occupancy, and other things, so 1.8 crore can be the net earning for the year, or a 15 lakh rupee monthly can potentially be the net earnings for the month in this business. And these numbers, typically what we've seen is year 2, year 3, these numbers are easily achievable. We would expect some of our franchise partners to be able to achieve these numbers within first 12 to 15 months also. Some of, yeah. So that's the number, friends. We're looking at doing a 24-25 lakh rupee gross margin, and so in terms of your revenue, this is 5 crore plus 4 crore plus 2 crore. So ideally a 10 to 12 crore revenue in the year, which converts to say a 3 crore gross margin and a 2 crore net margin is what we're looking at in this business. So again, I'll say a turnover of 10 to 12 crore annual, which converts to a 3 crore gross margin, and ideally a 2 crore net earning potentially for the year is possible in this business. So some of the support functions, I think very important to note, that you would be in a position to leverage on a growing network of franchise partners across the Northeast India region for a larger corporate connect. So all these 15, 20 top cities across Northeast India region will have our franchisee partners, which brings in the corporate connect, and you can always leverage on that. Just imagine, being part of a network which is connected with 25 cities across the East India region. And then each of these franchisee partners is connected with say 20-25 top corporates in their cities. So we're looking at, at a network level, we're looking at connecting with 500 corporates in the region. And all of these potentially can be your reference points. So that's a key support function that we're able to create and offer to you. Apart from that, in the pre-opening stage, staff hiring and training for your staff, then rigorous training modules for candidates that you would source, and we offer them training, and other complementary services for enrollments advantage, right? Post-opening, access to manpower pool through the entire Eastern Asian markets. So we help you source candidates, marketing and brand pull. As I said, company already enjoys a strong rapport with the corporates across the region. So that is always a benefit that we can drive. Tenders application and partnering in bid process. Yes, company will give you training in terms of how to apply for the tenders. And in some of the key tenders, large tenders, large corporates, company would also participate with you in the process, right? Ensuring consistent price points. Yes, we will work on maintaining our price points in the market, and so you are able to maintain your margins at your end, right? So who's a good, who we believe is a strong partner for us in this case. We've listed some of the key skill sets required to operate this business efficiently. Some of them are strong operational skills, because friends, we're working with a large manpower pool. So operationally, this can be very, very taxing. So you need to have strong manpower management, team handling, resource planning skills. Very important, that is. Existing corporate network. So some sort of a repo, if you already have in your city with the corporate, or you have strong BD and license skills, that would be important. Financial bandwidth to support high value tenders and contracts. EMD is earnest money deposit. So for every tender, we need to deposit certain money to be eligible for the tender. So financially also, a little bit of a working capital requirements are there. So given this skill set, we believe existing placement agencies existing security services, any temporary staffing solutions company. So all these companies can work with Yakthung and improve their position in the market, do much better in terms of their revenues, improve on their efficiencies, improve on their operations. So a lot of things can be done together, right? Leverage on our brand presence, leverage on our services, and you can easily double your revenues from what you're doing today. Similarly, we also see an opportunity for a new entrepreneur getting in this category. Uh, Exciting association with strong BD and manpower management skills. So if you believe you're not from a placement agency or a security service background, but you have strong BD and manpower management skills, this can be very exciting for you. Because the entry point is very limited, just a 10 lakh rupee investment. The top line, the revenues, the earning potential is unlimited in this case, right? Third case is an investor, which can also be interesting to look at. So in terms of the rollout now, company is very keen to set up offices across these 25 cities. As I said earlier, we should look at this opportunity as joining a network which is connected across East India region and connected with some 500 corporates across these 25 cities, which itself becomes a very exciting network for you to join. Typically, as a formula, we want to place 1 unit franchisee per 10 lakh population. And each of these cities, 1 to 2 franchisees we should be able to bring in each of these cities. So ideally, these 25 cities, plus there are few others in the region. So overall, we're looking at between 40 to 50 franchise partners to come in, to be able to capture or offer a complete market coverage in the East India region. Right? So that should be the end of the presentation. I hope this was helpful and I'm able to pass on the information. So friends, open for discussion. Any queries, questions that we can help you with?
So thank you so much, Anshul, for the presentation and taking us through the entire financial as well as business model. Yes, we do have queries. Now I invite Mr. Prashant Bhandari to take all the queries. Thank you so much, Prashant, for joining in.
Thank you, Archana, and thank you, Anshul, for explaining the business model. One of the questions that comes in from the young entrepreneurs or the businessman is what is the support that we can expect from the company, and what are the marketing activities that we will build in to ensure that we have leads coming in from people to join in this business model.
So you're on mute actually.
Sir, you are on mute. You have to unmute.
Mr. Limbu, you're on mute, sir. Very good afternoon to you. You're on mute. You'll have to unmute yourself, sir.
Yeah. It's a very nice question. In fact, as our Anshul has already mentioned also, we will give them to the new entrepreneur sort of a big training, how to attend to the tender. And initially, whatever tender, we will definitely accompany them also initially. And then time to time, we will help them in marketing in a professional manner, because security and manpower is slightly new subject. It is a slightly different way of marketing than what we do other consumer product. So in this, our team of marketing team will definitely accompany the new entrepreneurs whosoever will be joining us, and we provide them all possible help. But of course, sure, it's not possible that they will totally relax and sit on our shoulders. That's not possible. They will have to definitely move around themselves also, because they have to stand on their own feet as soon as possible. And at the initial stage, operations level also, our security professionals will definitely assist them in how to operate, carry out the survey of the security, what of the area. We will be sending our expert team with the new entrepreneurs. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Limbu. Thank you so much for explaining the question and giving the answer on it. So when, if suppose, these are some generally question which comes in from the market and from the entrepreneurs, is when can they expect the return on investment, or when can they expect return on the investment that they have put into the business, ideally into your kind of businesses?
This overall, which we call it, whatever investment they make, of course, within a year, it is, one can definitely realize it comes back. But as I told you at my initial address itself, that this is our business where a man starts working from the day one or even the hour one or in the minute, his credit starts, because it's a human resource. The human resource means a person is providing the services over there. From the day when he starts providing, the credit is, it goes to the credit of the entrepreneur. That's a new franchisee. And at the end of the month, monthly payment, the service taker pays back. So there is the return immediately starts in this.
Thank you, Mr. Limbu.
Shanti, I'll also add to
Yeah.
the question on the ROI part. As we discussed in the presentation as well, there are 3 services here, right? And each of these services, and as you can see in the calculation also, with a turnover of say 10 to 12 crore, the gross margin was 3 crores, right? And from the gross margin to net margin was a very high, almost 60-65% becomes the net margin. So almost 2 crore rupees becomes an annual net earning potential for the franchisee partner, right? So given that, and ideally that number should be your year 2, year 3 number, right? So with an initial investment of 10 lakh rupees, potentially, and as Mr. Limbu also mentioned, potentially our franchise partner should be able to drive that money within 12 months of the operations. This is 10 lakh rupees, right? And we're talking about 15 lakh rupee net earning per month from year 2, year 3 onwards. So ideally, 9 to 12 months is what we should be able to drive this 10 lakh rupee out from the business.
Okay. And what are the 3 most important things, because it's a human resource organization, which is a lot of resources will be there. So what are the three key things, or I would say 3 key characteristics that you look forward for a business partner to join hands with your organization or on similar business model?
Sure, sir. So very important one is a manpower management skill, because in this business you would see a large pool of manpower who are ideally not very well educated also, so that we need a very strong manpower management skill or resource planning skills. Second, because this is a front end role for the franchisee, ideally a business development role, right? So that skill set has to be there, business development and licensing. That has to be there. And third, I think one of the questions was also there in terms of the security deposit for tenders. We did talk about the earnest money deposits in the tendering case. So a little bit of a working capital or a financial bandwidth that would be required, sir.
And also, is it important to have a background from a defense background or from services background?
Not really. Mr. Limbu, if you like to answer that.
Yeah, not necessary. In fact, I was from the defense background. I'm an officer. I have ventured into it and I enjoyed it. I never failed. Only one should have the will to work and one should be of positive thinking. Very high qualification also is not required. But then, of course, presently everything moves on the computer skills and all. One has to be quite up to date as this IT skill is concerned. He must be up to date in this.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Limbu. Thank you, Anshul. So let me ask the questions which are coming in from the audience. One was, what will be the average finance size for tendering? Who bears the risk of any issues related to the manpower?
In this, as Mr. Anshul also already mentioned that unless money is required, then once you get the tender, let us say you are the tender winner, In that case, certain company ask for a little bit of we call it a performance security deposit. But then our company is registered under MSME where these security deposits are exempted. And even earnest money is exempted. For any entrepreneur, who joins as a franchisee, he, individually, he has to, for that region, he has to get the, what is called MSME registration done under his name and under his number, GST number, whatever it is, based on which it is exempted. Under the Ministry of the MSME, exempted, there is an empowered thing. Instructions are there, or notifications are existing in this.
Okay. And how do we compete ourselves with the I would say the market leaders, or not the market leaders, but could be your competitors? What are the USP that of investor or franchisee should register themselves in saying that what will be the key 3 USP or the USP that we have in the market today?
As competition is concerned today, if you go around, there is no distinct field without competition. Even the garbage picking also has a lot of competition. So what I say, this competition is number one is a price competition. First thing, which every department or the government office looks for, is a criteria of the tender that they will go in for the lowest cost. Second is your skill or your competitiveness. Means your repo in the market plus your skill on it, your reputation of your performance, which will be a sort of a major factor for competition. Because the departments and the government departments have got their discretionary power, they can even overrule certain lowest price and give it to a slightly higher one based on their skill or their performance records.
So Prashantji, I'll also add to what sir has mentioned. So, we need to look at this opportunity a little differently here. So I'll tell you, if you look at security services, G4S is one of the biggest player in the market, right? Similarly, if I look at temporary staffing or recruitment services, then you look at players like Adecco, Teamlease, and the like. But if I look at Yakthung has put both the businesses together into one offering. right? So you're doing security service also with G4S is offering, and you're also doing placement services, what an Adico would do, right? Uh, at the same time, we are also offering franchise opportunity for our investor friends to join hands with us. Apart from that, there are three other services which is very, very important now and in a growing category: skills development, nursing and caretaker, and overseas education. So if you look at this whole services mix portfolio, and as we said during the presentation also, that it is not just one service, one segment, but we're looking at a whole portfolio of these 5, 6 services, and each catering to 10 different user segments. And I can tell you even today that user segment is also expanding and growing. There are newer segments coming in. So please look at this from a perspective that it is offering 6 services catering to 10 different segments. So that's what we're talking about. We're not talking just G4S one service here. We're not talking team leads, just recruitment. It is a combination of G4S and Adico in one franchise opportunity.
Thank you, Anshul. I think you have explained it well in terms of we have more use cases, or we have more use cases into for investors to look into the business seriously. So thank you so much, Anshul. Uh, thank you, Archana. That's it from my side. Hand over to you.
So, Anshul, before we close, any questions you want to take, any further feedback? Arnav, you want to take it because we have onboarded this particular brand and you have worked with both Anshul and Limbuji on this particular thing. So before we close, any feedback, any suggestion from your side?
So just I want to congratulate Mr. Limbu for the wonderful, the opportunity which has been created, and so we look forward to pitching these services to our investors. And as Anshul mentioned, that this is basically a combination of manpower as well as placement and so many other services. So there are very few players in the market who are offering such a huge bouquet of services, and that makes it a very interesting franchise opportunity for everyone. So, let's leverage this to the maximum and start moving with this.
Sure. Thank you so much, Arnav. Mr. Limbu, before we close, your final remarks, your closing remarks to all our investors.
At the end, I'm really grateful and honored that so many have attended our webinar. And I thank everybody, especially Mr. Anna, Mrs. Sharma, and our Ansul, and all those audience, Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, Mr. Limbu, for joining in today. We really appreciate the effort and the support given to Franchise India team to showcase your brand to all our investors. We would like to thank Prashant, Arnav, last but not the least, very important leg of our Anshul Bansal for taking us through the entire presentation, talking about this great initiative. And friends, thank you so much for your registration, joining us today. We have kept Discovery Day for this particular brand, where you have chance to meet one-to-one, to have one-to-one interaction with Mr. Limbu. And Arnav will be in touch with you to talk about how our Discovery Days are planned. So you want to have more interaction, you want to get more detailed information, please book your slot for Discovery Day on 20th of September, which is Monday. You can book your slot at our business hotline number, which is 97176-83838. Also connect with us at a different social handles. We are available at Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, as well as Twitter. You want more guidance, more input, more suggestion, expert advice, it's very easy to get it. Just join Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am at their LinkedIn platform. Link we have already shared. So please join them to get more information. And tomorrow, under our 12 p.m. webinar, Business Opportunity with Chai, we are bringing the brand Flexigo. They are into car wash services. The team would come and talk about this great brand. You can start this brand, this particular business opportunity, just with an investment of 10 lakh rupees. So don't miss the chance. Join us tomorrow, 12 p.m. by doing registration, either at our business hotline number or you can write to us at feedback@franchiseindia.in or go to Facebook page where we have shared the registration link. Thank you once again for joining in today. Have a very safe day. Thank you so much.